Hey everyone, I hope you are enjoying your weekend. Today, the day that I'm filming is actually Canadian Thanksgiving, Monday, and it's a day off. And I have come to the park to enjoy this little break in the clouds of sun, and I thought it would be a good opportunity to maybe share 5 things that I wish people understood about introverts. What many of you who have followed me for a while know is that I'm an introvert. And there are a lot of misconceptions about introverts. And obviously we're not all exactly the same. But in general, I think these 5 things apply to the majority of us introverts. And since it's a relaxing holiday day, I thought it would be fun to go over these 5, not misconceptions per se, but just things that we wish that the world would understand about us introverts. Number 1, that we actually like being alone. That we are not lonely when we're alone. I think there's friends of ours worry about us because we're alone a lot, and they worry that we are lonely, that somehow we're down, that sort of thing. The thing about an introvert is that they like being alone. They like their own company, and they actually thrive on just being on their own. They're quite content. We're quite content to be on our own. We have no problem keeping ourselves amused and busy, and that we can happily spend hours, days, a long time alone without ever feeling lonely. Number 2, we wish people would understand that we have a very small social battery. I think, and this, I won't take credit for this. This is my son Keaton's way of describing it, and he described it perfectly, is that we all have a social battery. And for extroverts, it would be like huge, I don't know what it would be, but for introverts, our social battery is quite small. For my youngest, Shiloh, it would probably be a AAA. For me, it's maybe a C-size battery. Sometimes a D, sometimes a AA. But because we have such a small social battery, when we're in social settings, it doesn't take long for our social battery to get depleted. So when you're dealing with an introvert, it's important to understand that we have a limited social capacity, a limited social battery, and that we can only take so much socializing before we need recharging. Which brings me to number 3, that we need a long time to recharge that social battery. So for an introvert, for me in particular as an introvert, one social activity a week is more than enough, particularly because I am talking to people during the week, all week, in Zoom meetings for work. So when it comes to after hours or on the weekend, one activity is all I can handle. It's not that I can't handle more, it's all that I want to handle. And an introvert's social battery, because it's so small, it depletes quickly. But ironically, it takes a long time for it to recharge, which is why we need a long time in between those social gatherings. I don't understand why that is. It just is. And that's why I don't plan social activities during the week, after hours, in the evenings, unless I have to. Now, the exception to this is my kids. I will see my kids at any time. They don't drain my social battery. And when it comes to recharging, it takes a while. That we're shy. I cannot tell you how many times that I have had somebody say to me, well, you can't be an introvert because you're outgoing, you're not shy. Now, while obviously an introvert can be shy or outgoing or somewhere in the middle, they're not the same thing. Being introverted just means that you get your energy. Well, let me just put it this way. Being introverted means that being around large groups of people, lots of noise and activity, drains your social battery. Whereas extroverts, that same situation will charge their social battery. I'm an outgoing introvert. I like talking to people. I enjoy people. I have no problem striking up a conversation with people, that sort of thing. But my youngest is a shy introvert, and Keaton is probably mostly an outgoing introvert as well. All three of my kids are introverts. All three. Do I have a child I don't know about? Both of my children are introverts, but all three? Where did that come from? I'm leaving that in. Number 5, there is definitely a misconception out there that introverts aren't team players. Why is that? Well, it's because we prefer to work independently. And that's certainly something that I have struggled to make professionally, people around me professionally understand that I don't mind being part of a team. I enjoy being part of a team. I just don't want to work on team projects where everybody's together and we're sort of all working together on something. I prefer to do my part in that team project. I prefer to work independently within a team. But introverts are definitely team players, and I would argue that we're excellent team players because we work diligently to get our parts done. We just don't necessarily want to work collaboratively, like side by side with somebody or some others to do something. Just give us a task, let us do it. We'll get it done. We'll hold up our end of the bargain. We will be a contributing member of the team. We just like to approach it in a different way. And I wish managers understood that better, that introverts are excellent team members. We just need to work independently within that team. And a bonus point, which I guess is number 6, but we'll just call it a bonus point. Here's the biggest thing that I wish people would understand. Introverts don't need fixing, right? We don't need to be brought out of our shell. We don't need to be forced into extroverted situations, because we live in an extroverted world, and it's already a big enough challenge for us. It used to be, years ago, that the ideal was the strong silent type. The person that kept to themselves, didn't say a whole lot necessarily. But when they did say something, it was something that they had thought about and were very intentional about. We now live in an extroverted world where we're a culture of personality. The bigger the better. The more outgoing the better. The more extroverted the better. The louder the better, sometimes, often. And so introverts are finding a way to work in this world, but we don't need fixing because there's nothing broken about us. We're just different. And I will be fair, I wish I understood this as well as I do today when my kids were little, because of course school is set up to be more extroverted. I don't know how many times a teacher from my kids' school, had a conversation with me about how one or both of them, weren't participating, I'll use air quotes, the way that they wanted them to. Front of the class, speaking out, putting their hand up first, that sort of thing. Of course, I didn't understand at the time. And I didn't know how to support the kids. No, that's not the best way to put it. Advocate for them the way I would and do now. The fact is, they were absolutely perfect the way they are. Are. And so are our extroverted children. Unfortunately, like I say, so much of our society is built for extroverts, and introverts struggle. But that's the bonus point. If you know an introvert, if you are an introvert and you're struggling, just know you're not broken. They're not broken. Whoops. Uh-oh. I guess that dog was an introverted dog and did not want to socialize. I don't know. I just wanted to make a quick video, show this beautiful fall day, and go over 5 things, plus a bonus point, that I wish more people understood about introverts. And please know, I'm not saying introverts are better than extroverts. Not at all. The world needs both. And there's beautiful strengths and gifts that extroverts bring to the world, and there's beautiful strengths and gifts that introverts bring to the world. Again, neither one of us needs fixing, neither one of us is broken, and the world needs all of us. So, hope that was interesting. I know there's lots more that we introverts wish that the world understood about us. So, to keep the conversation going, feel free to put those down below. Some of the additional points that I could have made in this video, because there's a lot. And I'm sure extroverts could make a video of the opposite side. Again, it's not us against them. We are all perfectly made. And we are all just trying to find our way in this world. So, hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope that you guys are able to get out and enjoy breathing some fresh air and stretching your legs and enjoying this beautiful weather. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.